Warning, you'll never view Among Us the same again after viewing this video. No really, the game actually has lore. The history of Among Us is a line of 2 years long, but I wouldn't exactly call it a line. As seen, Among Us's popularity has only just spiked up. Now what or who has caused this abrupt explosion of popularity?
What did you do to me?
Oh god, this is miserable. Well, to know about the game, we first need to look into the company that made the game. Bear with me. American game studio Innersloth, stationed in the state of Washington, is an indie game development group that consists of 3 individuals. One of which is named Force W, who is the programmer and handles the main business side of things. Then there's Marcus B, an artist and animator as well as game designer. And last, there's Amy L, who does art and general tasks that need to be done. Innersloth, from the date of this recording, has only made a total of 3 games. Dig to China was their first ever game released on Android on January 28, 2015, which had been listed for $1.29 Canadian. It didn't do well though, receiving only 500 downloads and a 3.7 star rating on the App Store. Not long later, they released Dig to China free rather than updating the first one. They found better success, getting 100,000 downloads and 1,000 reviews. A few years later, they had come up with a new game idea, and this time they had a higher budget because of the 2 prior Android games that had now been out for a few years. This new game idea was to be called Among Us. Their idea was simple, a local multiplayer game about teamwork and betrayal in space. Crewmates will have to complete various tasks to prepare their ship for leaving orbit. Also stating in a tweet, they said, infected players can use vents to escape crime scenes and avoid witnesses. This, of course, proposes the idea that the imposters as we know them now as were first said to be thought of as infected, influencing the idea that average crewmates were somehow infected, perhaps during a space mission, and caused them to go rogue and kill their own crewmates. As depicted in many of the killing scenes, the infected are no longer human. Among Us was now finished and was released in America and Canada on June 15th, 2018 on Android, iOS, and later on November 16th, 2018, it released on Steam for PC. At first, very little people even knew of Innersloth. Hype for Among Us was little, and it was a tough 3 years in development. Among Us was stated to be inspired by a real-life party game Mafia, also known as Werewolf, and was initially intended to be a mobile-only local multiplayer game with only 1 map. About 1 year later, they announced a second map known as Mira HQ. 3 months later, on November 12, 2019, they added a third map, known as Paulus, to Among Us. Both maps were listed for $4, but were later changed to 2. Then, on June 2020, they were made free for all users. The game had now been out for 2 years and had made enough money to announce a sequel. They would call this Among Us 2. This was later called off due to its newly found spike in success. Zag may be dead. Twitch streamer known as Soda Poppin' was said to have made the game popular on Twitch in July of 2020. Not long after he played Among Us, other Twitch streamers began to follow, such as Call Me Carson, XQC, Pokimane, Shroud, Ninja, and PewDiePie, along with many other large online influencers on YouTube. The game's popularity continued into the following months. In September of 2020, the game received more than 100 million downloads, and its player count rose to over 1.5 million concurrent players, nearly 400,000 of which were on Steam, then peaked to 3.5 million in late September. If we do a few math problems and crunch a few numbers, let's say 1 million players have downloaded Among Us on Steam. Times that number by the game's price on Steam, which is $5.69 Canadian minus whatever Steam makes. We'll say 5% of all income. We get the number of $5,405,500. Now, we can't say for sure how many players have actually downloaded Among Us on Steam, and we can't say exactly how much Steam makes. so take that number with a grain of salt. Now remember, Among Us also has in-game microtransactions for pets and other accessories. And with the fact that the app on Android and iOS have over 100 million downloads, that number could be twice that, or even 100,000 times that. And there you have it. Thanks for watching the history of Among Us. What? Who's already dead? Oh, damn, it died.